Alright, what's good, everybody?
What's going on, people? What's going on?
Welcome back to another episode of Talking That Talk official podcast. I go by the name of King Exodus, aka X.
What's going on, world? It's your boy Juice, aka No Ordinary Brother, aka Rising Pharaoh, aka Mr. Books. And I thought it was right, I played Kanye Donda when he came in. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead, open it up with Drake's CLB. I've been having a lot of debates right now between the two albums. But I'm gonna keep my opinions to myself. I'm gonna keep the opinions to myself, man. Keep the opinions to myself. What about you, man? What you think about the albums, bro?
You can pause it so we can pick right back up. Me personally, I feel like being a Kanye fan throughout the course of his career, this wasn't his best album to me personally. The creativity that's there is the same creativity that he showed in Yeezus and albums, similar. So I really just didn't, to me it was just too much on a religious level, like every song. It was too much. Like when I listen to a hip hop album, I like the diversity, you know what I'm saying? How people could have serious songs, they turn up songs. Different songs put you in different moods, even though it still follow a theme. But when it's just every song is locked into one part of the theme, it was just like it was kind of like I listened to the same song a million different ways, in my opinion. Now Drake shit, I don't think it's Drake's best album, but it's still a very great album. So I'll go with the CLB over Donda.
Okay,
that's my opinion. I just feel like people should respect Kanye's genius no matter how he displays it and markets it. You know what I'm saying? Now he talking that Jesus talk. Now everybody rocking with it. When he was talking about black genetics and saying he's a god as well and calling himself Jesus, people was like, I ain't fucking with that. You know what I'm saying? But now, they fucking with him now that he's, talking the language everybody want to hear. So
Right. Okay, that's a good opinion, man. I'm not gonna go past you on this. Okay, so top of the discussion, get back on. So like I said, I'm gonna keep the opinions to myself. Donda, but
you got 2 minutes.
Donda.
Say it faster.
No, I ain't doing all that. Hey, look, topic of discussion is time versus attention, right? I'm gonna give you the reason why I want to come up with this topic because I was demonstrating to a woman not too long ago. I was like, I feel like y'all don't understand men, right? We value our time, and we know y'all want attention, right? Because every time I'm with this lady, she's like, man, I need attention. Like, I need attention. Like, she always wants my attention, right? And I'd be like, love, I value my time. They just give you attention. So if I'm giving you my time, I'm expecting something out of it at the same time. I'm not just gonna give you my attention and just expect nothing out of it. I feel like people got to be able to realize how valuable time is over attention. Because, right, what you put your time into, some things can excel you in life. What you give your attention to, sometimes necessarily doesn't. But we know time and attention can also be both benefactors of why you actually progress in life. So, in other words, right, if I'm giving my attention to better myself as an individual versus giving attention to other things, then we understand the power of attention there. But people get so distracted, why they say like starve your distractions for a reason. Starve your distractions for a reason, because whatever you give yourself too much attention to, it can pause your momentum in growth or progress. So, what you got on something, man?
I guess like in a relationship aspect, time and attention aren't always the same thing. Attention could have something to do with time, but it's not time within itself. Something that goes along with time is time cell perception, meaning the emotion behind the particular rate of time changes the way it impacts the cells of the body.
Right.
So, for example, somebody could stand in line for 2 hours and go through every kind of negative emotion there is. They can not have the patience. So it causes time to seem like it's moving faster. Then if somebody gazing into, a beautiful woman's eyes or at a club or whatever the case is, they could stand up for the same amount of time and it could feel like time's moving slower, like you're lost in every minute. So time cell perception kind of controls how you would perceptualize the time spent. Now, attention, involves time, but attention is something. I think people get more so addicted to attention versus time. You feel me? Because time is not always going to be adequate to some people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But attention, you know what I'm saying, it's a little bit different. So you have a lot of instances where Wale, he made a bar. He was like, women to sell their soul just to buy some attention. And that's very powerful. We have, like, in a relationship world where women value, well, some women know a man can only give you two important things, which is time and money. Some men can give you both, but you know what I'm saying, most men are going to lean towards one side.
Right.
And then you have some women that's like, fuck the money, you know what I'm saying, I just want the attention.
Fuck all that. Give me this attention.
So, you know what I'm saying, in that case, you got to be careful what you ask for. You know what I'm saying? Time is valuable. Attention is valuable, but at the same time, how valuable is it? So, that's what I got on that.
I mean, that's great opening, That's what we do. I make sure I do my thing, and I make sure, well, he better make sure he do his thing. But anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and switch this over to parenting real quick. Yeah, I know we do talk about subjects like this all the time. It's only fair. Have you ever heard of, hey, you don't spend time with him or her, versus some people that'll say, hey, you're not paying attention to your kids, but they'll say, but I give my kids my time.
Okay. I mean,
no, give me some feedback. I just want to
real quick on that. Real quick on the feed. Kids need both equally. Once the ratio becomes disproportionate, the child becomes disproportionate mentally somewhere. So they need both. You have some people that, let's say it's a co-parenting situation.
Okay.
Just because your kid lives with you, of course you give more time, but it don't mean you give them an adequate amount of attention to raise them, even though you still putting in time. Sometimes another parent or just another family member could give less time and more attention and become more effective. You know what I'm saying? You look at even the show Power. Everybody love Power.
Yep.
Kanan gave Tariq more attention. Ghost gave him more time. He catered more so to the attention versus the time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then at some points, neither one probably gave them both. But I think kids need both. Just being there isn't good enough. Just putting a roof over their head, giving them water and food, shelter, and sending them to school is just not enough. You know what I'm saying? You still have to pay attention. And a lot of people have issues personally with their kids because they never really paid attention to them. Some people parent by a blueprint and follow the blueprint, but forget to pay attention to see if the blueprint is actually working for the child.
Right.
Every child is different. Some kid may need a little bit of this, some need a little bit of that. So I say in that case, you got to give both. That's a different kind of relationship. Both of those got to be balanced out like perfectly. But on the flip side, you got some millionaires, you feel me, that's grinding so hard to keep the millions flowing, they don't have the time. And then you got people that work so hard, you know what I'm saying, middle class, they don't have the time because they work so much. You know what I'm saying? So every time a kid don't get both, it's not out of ill intent or the fact that someone's trying to make it that way. Sometimes people just get caught up in providing and work that they miss a little time.
Okay. All right. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's the main thing. I just wanted to make sure when you discuss the time and attention when it comes to kids, I don't think people understand it, right? When you spend 16 years with a child and they still don't know you because you never paid attention to them. And that's the power between time and attention sometimes. That's why you have men that could be with a woman and just feel like time doesn't exist with them. And then you have men that get women attention sometimes and be like, yo, but you don't give me time. I can give you what you want, but you can't give me what I want. So it's interesting, these two perspectives, because that's why I definitely wanted to jump in on this subject, because I feel like it's very powerful when people don't understand the difference between time and attention, right? So let me go ahead and do a little something, a little nip in the bud, right? There's a difference. That's why some men rather pay up front for sex versus not give the woman any attention, right? We understand, like, if I'm meeting a woman for a new woman, I might have to get to know her, I gotta give her attention, get to know her, what she like, what she don't like, she got kids, she got this, versus a man's like, I don't want to give you my attention like that, I value my time. Why not let me just dish out some money so where we can swipe it clean? Or why people like discrepancy? That's why they also pay for escorts sometimes, because men on those levels sometimes just value their time completely different. I remember I was talking with one guy before, and he told me like he paid for sex before with an escort service. And the way he said, look, I make this much money a day, I make this much money a week. If a woman wants at least 2 to 3 hours of my time, so it'll take this much time. And he was just calculating the whole time on his fingers. He said, that's too much money. He said, that's too much money of my time. When I make in 2 days, I'd rather just pay that off and then instead of giving this amount of hours. And I was just like, damn, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, prostitution is one of the oldest professions. That's why some people don't mind just dishing it up front, and some people don't mind giving you that attention. We're going to go with that question, though.
Going back to the parenting, and then I'm going to go back into that part.
But
do you think it's set up more so for like a kid to get more time from his mother or father, or do you think?
Oh, definitely. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah,
I didn't even have to cut you off. It's definitely revolved around the woman, because we understand the woman is the support of the household. That's why they always say man's supposed to be the provider. The man's not supposed to technically be around too much, but just enough. Mm-hmm. So that's how the structure of the household always comes into play in different parts. And I always look at it like this. That's why I was like, hey, are you traditional, non-traditional, this and that? See, if you can actually understand your partner, so as y'all want to build in the future, is the career going to go higher, go to entrepreneurship, the self-employment route, you can start picking out the right things when it comes to money and time management to make sure y'all are very beneficial into y'all's child's life. But what do we have? Hey, you're the sole provider, you work all day. That means you gotta look at it. We hear this all the time. Hey, yeah, you ain't never around. Like, hey, I'm providing for the goddamn family. Well, I'm not gonna be around. But then they'll get so upset at the father for not being around and not understanding the providing aspects until they get older. Then they be like, okay, I understand now.
Right, and bullseye. But to add on, before I go into the next question, people still could tell sacrifice and the willpower. Like, certain fathers are so busy providing that, of course, it's a no-brainer. They have less time. Mm-hmm. But people pay attention to what these same fathers do with their free time. Like, a lot of fathers, like, everybody hates
I just gotta laugh real quick.
You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody hates Chris. You know what I'm saying? He worked multiple jobs. But he really didn't sleep that much and rest because he still gave the time. His family still seen him sacrificing his time to even still give them the time.
What, he had 3 jobs in the show?
Yeah.
He had 3?
And still had found time. You know what I'm saying? So people know when, hey, you had, 4 or 5 hours of sleep, but this your only off day. So, you know what? Instead of sleeping in all day, I'm going to get up a little early, spend time with my family. And if I crash early, I crash. At least I had that willpower to give them some kind of time, even though I really don't have that much.
Correct.
And then you got some fathers that's just like, man, I'm finna rest. Fuck this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's not saying either one of them love less or more. They just love different. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, people can see what you do and what you sacrifice, and where your willpower at. So we're gonna start this up just for a little second.
Okay. This is good. I see we both got some shit for this. I like it. So now when it's on, let's flip it around, right? We talked about what's designed for the family, right? Mm-hmm. So in the aspects of single motherhood, we just go out single parent, single motherhood. Mm-hmm. How beneficial can a father be outside of the time and attention when it comes to co-parenting? I would feel that that's rather difficult.
Difficult, no doubt. But I think in that situation, from seeing other people going through it from experience and whatnot, I think that the older the child gets, the more easier it is for the father to be active, at least time and attention wise, if there's access. You know what I'm saying? Like, now the kid is able to consciously see, okay, I see my dad trying, I see my mom acting, whatever. Or they can be like, I see both parents trying. The older they get, the more conscious and aware they become of what's going on. Even if it's not mature enough to make the best decisions or judgments, it's easier as they are older. When they're younger and they can't really communicate, and et cetera, sometimes it's harder. I guess if some, like from a co-parenting standpoint, you're not there.
Right.
So is it more difficult? Yes. Do a lot of fathers give up? Sure.
Yeah.
And even the younger we were as boys, we automatically was like, oh, he a bitch. You know what I'm saying? But the older you get, sometimes you like, I don't necessarily agree, but I can understand more so why the more difficult the access is, sometimes some people just step back.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? That's a hell of a question. Hopefully. Yeah, that was a good one.
All right, go ahead, man. You got the floor now.
All right. So, on the money scenario, you know what I'm saying? It's pros and cons to both. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes when people get paid up front for a lot, sometimes the solution to situations become, well, throw money at it. And a lot of times the money is not what's needed to solve the problem immediately. Sometimes the time and attention factor become more important than the money up front. Mm-hmm. So you have men that provide everything financially. It still don't mean that women stay.
At all.
So
because you're not getting no attention.
Right. And you know what I'm saying, going back to the time scenario. You know what I'm saying? I think a woman would appreciate seeing a man fall asleep, you know what I'm saying, while trying to give them time versus a man that always values his, you know, rest and personal time first. Like people, that's when attention comes into the mix. But going back to the money part, money don't solve everything, especially not up front. Sometimes you still got to put in that work. People, you can buy, you know, somebody a cheap gift, a card, a rose, and write something deep, and that might just stick with them, and versus somebody that bought them the most expensive purse or, you know what I'm saying, a vehicle, whatever. Everybody's different, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's what I got on that.
I'm good. Okay. I mean, anything else? I mean, you just fall back to a subject.
Time and attention. Is there such thing as putting too much time into a hobby or a person?
Can it be like, well, phrase that one more time.
Is there such thing, do you believe, as putting too much time into a hobby or a person?
I do. If it's preventing you from doing anything else. Mm-hmm. I feel that's when I should say like time versus attention. Until like you give your attention to the wrong thing, it's time consuming you on no progress, right? Mm-hmm. And that's the amazing thing about when he said a person and hobby. You can do both and not make any progress. That's why I be telling men like, hey, look, some of y'all get friend zoned and still be giving them the same amount of time and attention. Anytime you get friend zoned, you should not want to operate within that same factor that you once was, right? You can't, no disrespect, you can't friend zone me and expect me to give you the same amount of effort and attention I once was doing. Mm-hmm. I told one guy before, I was like, if I ever get friend zoned, I only operate within the area perimeter they live in. Mm-hmm. That way I know I'm not giving too much time or attention to them. Meaning, if I'm not within your proximity, like 1 mile, 2 mile, and you text me or call me, I'm not picking up or replying. Because that's what I said, like, if you want to keep yourself in a loop, which most men will do, like, oh, she friends on me, but you know what? I'm going to still keep pushing at it. I'm going to keep going at it hard. Maybe one day I'll finally get it. I don't do that. I don't do that. Like, you got to be able to read the energy right then and there and decide from there, am I going to withdraw or I'm going to keep at it? But this is the crazy part, right? If you stop chasing, sometimes they'll come back for you. But most people don't realize that. You got to cut off the efforts you were doing, things that they like, and make them come after you then. Mm-hmm. That's the only way you can reverse that. But yeah, you can definitely give your time and attention to things too much that won't make anything better for you.
I agree. Nothing to add on to that. Most definitely, giving your energy was reciprocity.
Reciprocity.
You gain from that relationship. That's good. But you know what I'm saying, in certain scenarios, it really depends on like the soul of the person. Like some people want to be so great at a craft that them putting too much time into that craft, well, it's pros and cons because now they have the chance to be iconic at that craft, but they may lose their family in the process. You know what I'm
We
saying?
hear about that all the time with these celebrities, these artists, some of these people in government positions, political power, all that.
Right.
I remember, you gotta look at it like this. And Malibu Most Wanted, right? He said, hey, his mom and dad was never there. He had to watch them on TV from both rooms. And so, like, they never really knew who their son was. You know,
freeze, bitch.
You know what I'm saying? That boy said, his bar mitzvah, OPP, bitch. I'm like, yo, son. But see, they thought, like, everybody thought because he's in this position, they try to keep him on a traditional role. Like, you can't do that. He's not, y'all haven't gave him no type of attention and no type of time to actually know if he's going to follow it already if it's not being projected to him.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I would definitely want to bring up that example. You know what I'm saying? And then you have certain people you see like that have like superstardom potential, but they never really get to access it because they choose their family before they choose that iconic status. You know what I'm saying? So you see a lot of movies where the most talented people be like the people that's like living in a farm somewhere with their family or some shit. You know, they could easily be on stage dominating anything. Or,
Oh, man, yeah.
you know, play a sport, but they like, hey, family is more important.
More than all that.
So that's why I brought the pros and cons to it because sometimes it just really depends on what people want. Some people value that family experience, relationship experience, and some people, you know what I'm saying, value the fact that they could be number one at something. So time and attention applies to a lot of different relationships.
I was about to say, I remember, I'll never forget because I got a really good memory. Just throw that out there. On the Maury show, I'll never forget, the dude was on the Maury. He's in college. He was about to go pro. He said he had to find out the baby was his first, but he said, I gave it all the way up for family. I was like, what? It was like you wait, you could have went pro, but you gave it up for family? Like, it bothered me, but I was like, yo, you can't get mad at how people embody certain things and cherish more than the other. But at the same time, I'm like, bro, this was stupid. But the bad part for me was like, bro, you still got to find out if that child's yours, you know? But you threw all that away just in case if it wasn't.
And on that note, you know what I'm saying, what you kind of choose up front, a lot of times you don't get a chance to retract that. Some people that be like, I'll choose my family first, they pass up on the opportunity. And sometimes they struggle. And the family never gets that opportunity again because you passed up on it. So, you know what I'm saying? You got to evaluate every situation properly. You don't want to pass up on like really great opportunities just because you picked the wrong thing at the wrong time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's possible to pick both.
Yeah. They go back to that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like sacrificing willpower. Do you really show those people that even though you picked, you know, the fortune or whatever,
right?
Do you still give them the most time and attention that you can? People know if you're trying or if you're bullshitting. You know, you see people like calling to work sick. You know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And they at the club and shit.
They at the club. They on vacation.
Then you got the person that called in. They really in the hospital bed somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So. You know what I'm saying? This shit applies to everything. You know what I'm saying? People know what you give your time and energy to. People know that, you know what I'm saying, you might have told your family you're too tired to do something and then, you know what I'm saying, they catch you doing something else on a video game.
On a video game.
Watching, you know what I'm saying? Or watching football or something. They'd be like, damn, you know, time you spending doing that, you could have gave me some of that time. So, you know.
Yeah. Time versus attention, baby. Oh, man.
I guess on a note, let's say it's a young person out there that's listening. What negative experience, don't share it in detail, but what kind of negative experience can you give where you fucked up on either time or attention, and what was the result?
What was the result of me fucking up?
Yeah. Like, what did you lose? What do you feel like you could, you know what I'm saying?
I definitely lost out on sleep, rest, other opportunities that was happening in the area because I chose to get my attention elsewhere and my time elsewhere. You can definitely miss out on some things if you don't calculate it right. I would say when it comes to time and attention, go where you're emotionally strong at, but also know when to ignore your emotions at the same time, right? So in other words, if being in love has got you drained, learn to step back and restore yourself. Like, it's okay to tell somebody, hey, no, I need to get some sleep, I gotta catch up. Like, some of y'all jump at every opportunity to see somebody because, you're so stuck in your emotions that you forget that things will compound against you. No rest, you get fatigued, you get tired, your arteries might start resting. Hey, shit compounds when you don't have rest and you're not doing things that are necessarily benefiting your body on consumption. So that's what I definitely tell a lot of the young brothers out there. Be careful what you invest your time and energy into. Trust your emotions and know when to ignore your emotions when it comes to your body and your well-being and opportunities. I'd be damned if you love a chick, you go somewhere else and you had an opportunity to do something with your life. But never mind. That's what I said. What about you, man? What about you, man?
Yeah, I would definitely say, man, be careful what you put your time into, and find something outside of yourself, to really put your heart into as far as like living. Find something that you love to do and make time for it. Even if you don't always make the biggest amount of time for it, find that time, because making yourself happy puts you in positions to be happy, and then now you can add value to other people. And don't get too caught up in even the thing that you love doing, because you still can burn yourself out, whether you're making yourself happy or somebody else. So happiness should be balanced. It's not always the number one priority all the time.
Right.
With your time. You're not going to be able to be in multiple places at once. So don't burn yourself out. The shit's a marathon. It's not a sprint and race. You want to think longevity. Everybody's not going to get the best of you all the time. That's fine. And you can't make people appreciate the good that you give them, even if it's not how they want it or the time space that they want it. So look at longevity, even if it's physical training. Every week, every day, you're not going to be able to go in there and
kill it
and bench press your max and squat your max, and you're not going to be able to do that all the time.
Right.
But it's the small time and even the 50% resistance that you can still put on your body to grow. So that's all I got on that. Just be careful what you put your time into, whether it makes you happy or other people. Always balance that shit out.
Right. Yeah. I love what he said there, because the example I give is like, you have a chance to go to an outing, you're an extrovert, have a good time, but at the same time there might be something that's around you that needs to be attended first, attention-wise, before you have fun and be happy. And that's a great example, man. Good job, man. You know what I'm saying? You can make some money with you.
Yeah. That's the plan. That's the plan. All right, so yeah, we wrapping that one up. Most definitely, we appreciate everybody that's tuning in to the YouTube, that's subscribed to the channel, and that's watching via IG Live. Much love, much love. Continue to follow us on our platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. That's Talking That Talk Official Podcast.
All right, and let's get back to this CLB. Well, give my opinion now. Since the show over.
CLB.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I gotta give it a yay, man. I'm giving it a yay, y'all. I'm giving it a yay. This is what happened for me, right? This is what happened for me. I listened to Donda one time, and I was like, this is a great album. When I listened to CLB, and it was over, it's restarted. I said, yo, that's it? Like, I didn't have a direct emotion to judge it. That's why I was like, okay, from a first initial reaction, Donda. That's it. Let me listen to it again, because I'm actually a Drake fan. I've never been a Kanye fan.
Really?
No, yeah. I've been a Drake fan since 2006. Room for Improvement. All that.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, since Degrassi he's active. I've been a Drake fan since.
But I was talking about Kanye. A lot of
No,
people.
I never really been a Kanye fan. He's made some great music, but I just never been like a fan. I always been into his mentality and business. Like I just watched the old Breakfast Club interview when they was talking about when he dropped Yeezus. When he dropped Yeezus.
When he was arguing with
Yeah, arguing with Charlamagne.
Yeah.
I was like, bro,
That's the Kanye.
y'all missed, y'all missed all what he was saying, bro. Like, it went completely over y'all head. And like I said, even when the Donda moved, I said, bro, do y'all understand this man's marketing moves he did? He went on the album tour, the album never dropped. What if he just said no more music? And like, the people there was like, I could still hear it today. I can still hear it. And everybody else in the world just kind of just imagine it like,
if you can sell somebody something that ain't there, you can sell anything.
You can sell anything. So like I said, like imagine if he just said no. Then every clothing that he started wearing, when it showed up, it sold out. Don't come out for like 3 to 9 months. I was like, but see, it's a thing where like people are like, well, Drake had more streams than him. I was like, yeah, but Kanye voices his opinions more than Drake. Let's not ever forget that. If Kanye never voiced his opinion, I swear to God, everybody loved this man. I was like, you wouldn't have no rejection to him. But he doesn't mind speaking his mind, talking out about political things, the history, all that, to a point where, bro, like, that's why people don't like him. And then every time when you think about what he says later on in life, like, yo, he was actually right. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, that's it, man. I gotta go back to this really, really, really dope, good stuff real quick. We out, man. Unless you about to say something. Was you supposed to say something?
Oh no, we out.
Oh, we out? Okay, let me go back to this.
Me, I'm supporting this shit. This is a story, came in my life.